After taking the late night, or rather very early morning ferry, we arrived in Visby at about 5:15 in the morning. Naturally, everything in Visby was pretty much closed when we arrived, but we wanted to get something to eat, and I knew of an old coffee shop that opened early in the morning, and we rode through a quiet, easy Visby up to the coffee shop and enjoyed a really, really nice start to the day. We then visited some of the places I've lived before in Visby before heading off down towards Ekstad. First stop of the day, we've got off the boat, stopped for a coffee, and now we're heading south, and the sun's come up and it's time to get out of the warm clothes and into the cycling clothes. Looks like it's going to be a brilliant day. We had a very nice ride down along the coast with plenty of opportunities to stop and have a rest. It was a nice day, but it was a little bit windy, and as always in Gotland, it's always a headwind. But the scenery was basically spectacular. As it's tourist season in Gotland right now, there are a lot of people about, and we moved along the coast, traveling through the small fishing villages, and basically just enjoyed ourselves. In the end, we did about 70 kilometers before trying to find a place to camp. I wanted to camp down in Ekstad. I really liked this area, and we were one of the few people camping. There were a lot of caravans and camper vans about, but not many people tenting. So we set up the tent in a beautiful spot and then just relaxed and enjoyed the rest of the evening. Last time I was here, about 11 years ago, all these roads were gravel roads. They've all been paved now, which, it's a bit unfortunate. I would have preferred them to remain gravel, but at least it was easier cycling. Saturday morning. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's only about 6 o'clock in the morning. Just woke up. Gone for a bit of a walk along the beach. Stone beach here, Ekstad in Gotland. It's one of my favorite parts of Gotland. I used to live very close to here. Looks like it's going to be a nice day, not too hot, but no rain. Had a nice night's sleep. We did about 70 kilometers yesterday. Nice, easy riding, which was great because Anna Maria got a little bit tired, being her first longer ride. And I have to admit, I felt that my backside is not used to long day rides either at the moment. So it was a nice, easy way to start the ride. And it's absolutely beautiful to wake up here and just enjoy everything. It's a pretty nice way to wake up, enjoying a nice cup of tea with some honey in it, and just enjoying the scenery early in the morning when it's nice and quiet. Hur är det, Anna Maria, efter första dagen?
Ont i rumpan.
Ont i rumpan.
Annars benen är helt okej.
After a quick breakfast, we headed off and enjoyed the views along the way, and travelled past yet another place where I had lived on Gotland. We spent the day cycling down to Nisseviken to visit some people down there, then back up to Alva to visit an old colleague, and then to Hemse for our dinner. And then heading out of Hemse along the old railway line, we found a camping spot for the night. It was a nice open spot with places to prepare food and places to sit, and sheltered from the wind, which is always a problem on Gotland. So far, after 2 full days of cycling and camping, everything was working perfectly. Start of day 3, riding along the old railway line. Heading out of Hemse, we found a camp spot just outside of Hemse. Stayed there for the night. Had a bit of rain, first rain, but it only fell during the night. Nice morning, bit humid, bit cloudy, and we'll see how the day develops. We cycled along some smaller roads, making our way across the island and over to Gotland, where we were intending to have lunch. And we managed to time it perfectly. It actually rained for a couple of hours, but during that time we were sitting in the cafe, enjoying lunch and maybe an Irish coffee as well, just to make the day last a bit longer. We then had a walk along the beach, checked out the sights. The one thing we didn't do was go for a swim, as the water was really, really cold. But we were lucky. We managed to time in watching the yearly tractor parade, the interesting procession that happens every year apparently. Google Maps then found us some really nice smaller roads, making our way to Kreklingbo, where we were intending to find a place to camp for the night. We got there in reasonably good shape, actually went for a quick dip, although it was freezing cold, had dinner at the fish restaurant, and then after that found what was possibly the best campsite of the whole trip. We were again lucky with the weather, as it had cleared up and there was a little bit of wind, but not too much. We enjoyed a nice evening and then just relaxed, enjoyed ourselves, and then woke up early next morning to a brilliant sunrise view through the tent. The next and last day wasn't all that exciting. It proved to be a pretty hard slog across the island, with head and side winds. There were a few nice areas. We stopped for lunch in Roma, and we basically just tried to keep going to make it to Visby, so we could have some time there before the ferry home later that evening. Once in Visby, we parked the bikes, sat down at a restaurant, had a few beers, had a nice dinner, and just enjoyed ourselves before the ferry. The bikes worked really well, not a problem at all, and as the first trip on one of my bike rescue bikes, it's proved to be a great success. Highly recommended, both the bike and the area.